Hey Minecrafters, it's GameStar here. How are you guys today? I want to show you my design on a hidden waterfall base. Alright, here we go. Alright, there's a waterfall. We're going to put a torch there. That closes the spot where the water flows into, turns the water off, and opens the door to our secret base. How about that? Takes a minute for that water to dissipate. Go in here, throw a torch there, closes it off, and it should have turned the waterfall back on, so it don't look like there's anything suspicious except for a waterfall. Yeah, just like that. You go in here, it will open it as well. And the water will flow in about 4 blocks, so I suggest you make that like a hallway, or just don't put anything in there that could be damaged by water. And yeah, turn it back on, and it turns the water right back on, and we're good to go. Alright, come over here. We're going to go ahead and start our torch key mechanism by placing 2 blocks, and 1 up, 1 over, and 1 more up. And we're going to place a sticky piston like that. We can delete this block. We're going to put redstone, dust, in those 3 spots, a repeater on 2 ticks, a torch right there with a block. And that is the whole torch key design. We're going to go 2 blocks over, and we're going to dig a 3x6 space out. And this is going to be the space for our water to flow into. Once you have that dug out, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put 3 pistons on each side. And then put your block of choice in front of those. And we're going to go ahead and dig this hole down for the water to go into. And then you can build this as tall as you want, short as you want, that's up to you. But we're going to go ahead and go about this high, maybe a couple more blocks. Yeah, just like that. Once you got that, come off the back and wrap it around like this. And we're going to put our dispensers there. And then we're going to come off 1 block on each side. Place sticky pistons facing towards the dispensers. Like so. Blocks in front of them. And you don't have to put blocks here, but I do that just because I like to fill it in. And we'll go ahead and come out off of these pistons and off of these dispensers. That's where we're going to hook the redstone up. We're not going to do that just yet. We're going to go ahead and fill the top in for 2 reasons. 1, to hide the dispenser and the pistons. And 2, to make sure the water flows straight down, not out, and it don't look uneven. Because you want it to look nice. You want it to look like a waterfall. You don't want it to look like 2 different water source blocks got placed in 2 different spots. And then we're going to fill this in and make it look even. Just like that. And we're going to go ahead and take our sticky pistons, place 2 like that on both sides for our door. And go ahead and put blocks across these pistons like that. And we're going to fill this up so no water can get through. And wrap this around for our redstone. Just like that. And we're going to come off of this torch key mechanism. We're going to make a monostable circuit. So repeater, piston, block, and repeater. We're going to have that going into a piston. With a cauldron full of water. Make sure it's cauldron full of water. If you try to use a redstone block, this is not going to work, because the redstone block will power the piston and the piston will not deactivate. Alright, comparator, block up, put a torch, come out with a repeater from the torch. And then we're just going to take dust and wrap it all the way around right here. And then we're going to come out one and down one. Put dust on them blocks. Dust here. And a torch. Yep, but we don't want them blocks there. They need to be against the piston. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Except for we just need to come down one. And we're going to place a torch. Redstone dust. Just like that. And that's pretty much the redstone for the door and to close where the water's going into. And we're going to come off this cauldron with another comparator. Going into a block. Into a piston. And with a cauldron and water. And we're just going to keep repeating this till we get the redstone signal up to the height we need it to be. Just like that. Yep, just keep repeating this process until you get it to your the height you have chosen. Whether it's taller, shorter, that's up to you. But as long as you use the same design, you should be able to make it as tall as you want or as short as you would like. And actually this is one too tall, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of this piston, cauldron, and these blocks right here. Go ahead and come up one and then out three on both sides like this. And then we're going to go down one, and then we're going to connect it across. Just like that. And then we're going to come out two more blocks off the block that's coming out of the comparator. Just like that. We're going to put redstone dust, repeater, just to repeat the signal, because a cauldron full of water will only put out a signal strength of 3. So we're going to wrap this around, put repeaters going into the blocks behind the piston, just like this. We're going to put repeaters here for the dispensers, come out a block, redstone dust, and then redstone torch. Does not matter which side it's on as long as it is on one of the blocks with redstone on it. Basically that's making it to where when the pistons are off, the dispensers are on, and when the pistons are on, the dispenser's off. We're going to go ahead and fill this in before we test it so none of the water interferes with our redstone. You can fill this in however you would like, with whatever blocks you would like, as long as you can make sure the redstone and the pistons are covered up. Because you don't want it to be obvious, or it would really wouldn't be a secret base. You know what I mean? Make sure this looks even. Just like that. And just so you know, when you do go to activate this, you will have to activate it twice for it to start. And that is because when you first activate it, it's going to send a signal to open the door and shut the water off, and the water is already off and the door is already open. So it's kind of like you got to toggle it twice, and then it'll be on where everything's closed and the water's running. So now we're going to test it. So the first time it will not do anything. And then when we do it again, then it's going to activate the whole system. And the doors are actually shut. I just did not put blocks in front of them pistons. I'm going to do that now. Just like so. Now I'm going to put some blocks here just to make it look nice. And I mean, that's pretty much everything except for the button on the inside. And I'm going to be placing another torch key system. in here. I mean, you can put a button or a lever, that's up to you, but as long as you hook it up to a monostable circuit, you should be good. Because you don't want the piston to extend and then retract the cauldron. You want it to just place it and then retract without it, and that's what the monostable circuit is for. So wherever you want your wall, go back a block and then place this, because the block for the torch key is going to actually extend one. You have to factor that in to where your wall is going to be. And the same design, 2 ticks. And then we're going to come off of this and make a monostable circuit. So we're going to go repeater, piston with a block, repeater, and then we're going to connect this all the way back around to the piston with cauldron. Now if you just did a button, you could just run a button to a monostable circuit and wrap it around. That's purely your choice. It's up to you guys. And we're gonna put a torch, bloom, it works. Make sure everything's working good. We're gonna test it again, make sure it closes. And when it closes, it should activate the waterfall. Just like that. Thanks guys for watching my video.